Welcome to my 4-week mobility and strength training program. We are here in week 4, shoulder mobility, day 1, glute and hammy. Let's start with a shoulder wall mobility test. Sit crisscross applesauce with your hips and shoulders connected to the wall. Hands are going to be overhand, shoulder width apart, and you're rotating those hands up and see if they can connect all the way to the wall. Test 2, just flip those hands underhand and do the same thing. Rotate up above the wall and see if one feels tighter than the other. For me, having my wrist overhand, I found that it was harder to reach all the way up to the wall. Identify for yourself if one, palms up or palms down, feels harder than the other. Also, make sure that your wrists aren't flexed up or down, so when you're going up, your palms should be pretty straight and you're not reaching those wrists back to the wall. We are going to start with a lat mobility stretch with a band anchored up really tall. So if your palms are facing up and you felt it was harder to extend to the wall, you're going to want to stretch your lats. So with your hands pronated, facing up to the ceiling, if that was tighter, go ahead and stretch both arms here with your lats. The arm that is extended up will be the leg that will be extending away. Thinking about lengthening as long as you can your lats across your rib cage. Try to push and pull into different positions and then switch to the other side. Now, if you're like me and your shoulders felt more tight with your palms down, then you're going to want to stretch the back of your shoulder. Take that same anchor point and band, and you're going to lean away, pulling your arm across your body. So let your arm be pulled in to the band, and then you're going to cross your body and really feel a long stretch on the back of that shoulder. So you can stretch your lat and then go into a shoulder stretch depending which side felt more tight. Go ahead and stretch both shoulders. Let's retest our shoulder mobility. Sit crisscross applesauce with your hips to the wall, shoulders connected to the wall, and overhand. The extension goes all the way to the wall now. It was much easier after mobilizing the back of my shoulder. Let's try palms up. I feel so much less tension here, so much easier to reach to the wall. My lats and shoulders are definitely ready for the workout. Let's get into it. We're going to start with a hip thrust. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Your chest drops into it, keeping your abs engaged and lengthening your glutes as you go down. Push those knees out, rock with those toes going up, and as you squeeze up, squeeze those glutes all the way up to a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Again, this is like a hinge. From your knees to your hips is one straight line, and from your shoulders to your hips is another straight line. So make sure not to leave your chest up on top, hanging up there alone. Make sure to drop into it, lengthening your glutes to the bottom and squeeze that booty all the way up to the top. Adding more weight when you can without sacrificing your form. Let's superset that with a single leg RDL. I am doing this here on a Smith machine. You could do this with a dumbbell, a barbell. Most important part is that we're working one hamstring at a time. So your front leg is going to be the working leg and you're over on your toe, which is just assisting your working leg. So we're going right to the center of our shin, hip hinging down, lengthening your hammy, and squeeze your booty to stand up tall. Make sure those shoulders are pulled back with a flat back. As you switch feet, make sure your foot is squared up underneath your hip and you're up on that back toe. We're going right to middle shin and squeeze right back up. Your shin should stay vertical, not too much movement in your knee. This is all in your hip. Being a hip hinge, you're thinking about how far you can reach your hip back, extending that booty, and squeeze hammy and glutes back to the top. Adding more weight with each set if you can. Let's jump into our next superset, elevated sumo squat. You can use any type of weight here. Most important part is that you're going to be elevated so you can drop that weight past where the floor would be. Even a dumbbell, try to get something you can step on so you're a few inches up higher than the floor. Really think about dropping that booty down past your knees and squeeze up as you're pushing your knees out wide over those toes. Slight lean forward here so we're extending our glutes out and really squeeze that booty back to the top. Let's superset that with an assisted step up. Assisted step up means we're going to be holding something while we have a very high step up. This is going to force us to use more glutes as we go up and down. Focus on your knees staying stacked over your ankle and try not to drive forward or shift backwards as you go through the movement. This should be a hip dominant movement. As you go back, your booty should go back like a 90-degree angle and come right back up. Find a height that is just outside your comfort zone and have something to grab on to get you through every step. Comment down below if you found your rear delts, the back of your shoulder, or your lats were more tight. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.